Okay.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on.
Hey, looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Episode 342. The Oakeys are back.
Hey, great to be back here.
People have waited 24 hours to hear the rest of the story that you were talking about. Reset a little bit. What's the story about?
It's just stupid is what it is.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to throw you under the bus.
I can't believe you're even going to bring this up.
I want to hear.
Oh, no. You want me to start or you?
No, I mean,
let's hear your side, honey.
Well, no, it's your story. You start the story. Okay, I'll start off.
He's going to give me a hard time about this.
So let me kind of backtrack how this
He's
day
not even
went.
making eye contact with you now.
Yeah, I know.
Is she over here? Is she still here?
Yeah, she's right there.
Okay.
Right behind your
Let
hand.
me just backtrack to set up this day.
Don't make me sound like a... Well,
too late. Just kidding. So I'm
a spoiled princess.
Yes, she is. So I had to take I take our son to his first basketball game. I take him back. I say, hey, okay, I'll be back to get the other two girls for their game. Okay. So Caleb and I come back. No cars there. I'm like, I call Kristi. I say, where are you? Oh, I took the girls to go get our nails done. I'm like,
totally annoyed.
So I picked up Trinity from her friend's house to get her ready for the game because the girls are on the same team. I said, well, Olivia's a game. Oh, she does? I said, yeah, we had this conversation before. So, well, she's getting her nails done. I'm like, oh, okay. First game of the year. And we don't have that many girls on the team anyway. No big deal. So and then when I get home, the dog got in the trash, and so I was like, oh,
it's always a whole bunch of things.
And we're rushing. We got to get going. We got to get moving.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, this is why you wrote this article this little blog the other day, because of this story.
Yeah,
right here.
pretty much. And so so I'm mad. I'm kind of annoyed, and so we get her, get Trinity ready. We go to the game. I get there. I thought the game was at 3. The game was at 4. I had wrong. Coach gave me one schedule. The other schedule had. So I'm like, great.
She had a whole hour to kill.
So we go back home. Kristi says, you just come pick her up now. So fine. So I pick her up.
Yeah, he's pleasant.
And then, of course, now I've got all the kids with me. So I'm not sure how that worked out. But now I've got all the kids with me. She's finishing getting her nails done. And then I'm at the game. I'm keeping score. I'm doing the scoreboard at the game. And she calls, oh, hey, I said, well, I'm doing the scoreboard. Okay, I'll just text you. I'm going to run to Walmart. I said, okay.
It was really, really cold.
It
was last weekend.
Last Saturday.
Saturday.
She's, I'm going to run to Walmart. I said, okay. And, maybe could you help me and, load the groceries into the car? I'm like, okay. Because obviously she's a grown woman and she can't do it herself.
You were not getting sex for days.
Days, implying it happens every day? What? Oh my God!
Hey, that's shocking news to me too.
That's what he signed up for. That's
right?
right.
Yeah, that's why I got married again.
Holy cow!
So we get up the game. I call her. I said, we're on our way. She says, okay, she's almost done. No problem. So I get there. I said, I'm here. I'm parked. In fact, I find her car. I said, I'm parked right next to you. Okay, I'm almost done. This line's taking forever. No problem. We sit there. We're in my car, which really, has crammed 3 people in the back, and I have 1 kid in the front seat with me. And so after a while, we're getting a little rambunctious back there. He's touching me, she's touching me. They looked at me, whatever. And I'm like, Kristi. And by this time, I've got this headache. I'm like, what's going on?
How long had it been by this time?
It's like
this point?
I can feel him breathing.
I'm at about the 20-minute mark. This is supposed to be like 10 minutes.
You're in line.
But I can feel him breathing through the phone.
Minutes. She's like, this line's crazy. You're not going to believe it. Then the next text I get is like,
be nice to me.
Next day she says, I had an altercation.
I had to say apologize. I had to apologize.
You said I had an altercation. I had to apologize. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the heck is going on in Walmart?
Right.
Then like another 10 minutes goes by. She goes, I'm here. She goes, I'm outside. I'm like, okay, I'm by your car. Silence. No text. I'm like, is she going to come to the car? What? Nothing.
What did I do?
Nothing. So I
was so distraught.
I said, I'm guessing Mom's sitting outside waiting for us to come pull up.
Now he's even more annoyed with me.
I'm like, the whole reason I came over here is to help her load the car because she's cold. She didn't have a big jacket. She didn't have gloves.
Which is a very nice thing to do. Yes.
But here I am 30 minutes in. To load groceries for 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. She's probably been standing outside 30 seconds waiting for me. I pull up. I'm annoyed. I get the things. I just start...
He threw the Cheetos in the thing.
Yeah, and I can tell she's getting. I can tell something's upset because she's like a little upset over there. I'm like, why is she upset?
Do I give a crap?
So I'm just flinging the groceries in the back of my car.
Somebody in the parking lot, probably the little kid's like, "Mommy, that nice guy from TV's throwing chips in the back of that car."
Fortunately, it was a little dark. Maybe no one noticed. So I said, "I'll see you at home." Slam the thing. Go home. So she's upset. Okay, so I unload. She gets home. And I'm like, what's going on? She says, you don't really care. I said, no, I do. I truly am curious why it took so long and why I had to be there 30 minutes to load a car in 10 seconds. I mean, I'm truly.
It's a valid
I
question.
don't know what your thoughts
It's a very valid
I was
question.
kind of curious about your mindset on this. Well, I didn't think it was going to take that long. And I had an incident. And I'm like, what happened? Well, she goes, she at one point, the line was so long, and it's at Walmart, and they've got 50 lanes, but only 2 are open.
Always.
Right?
All the time, yeah.
And so she's
it's like 6 deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, the guy's, going through it, but as he's going through, right, he's like talking to his buddy behind him. Oh, yeah, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh, God,
Yeah,
every time.
Scan one thing. Oh, yeah.
I watched this go on for like 15 minutes.
And,
She's like,
finally, she was getting annoyed. She's like, would you?
price check,
Yeah.
all this list. They were just like, it was like 15 minutes, and I could hear him just, I mean,
You
I
could hear
could
the
feel
phone
him
vibrating.
in the parking lot, just like,
Seething.
I could bet.
Because
Totally
he turns it,
seething.
I'm telling you, he's Happy John for KETV.
I was annoyed.
He is like,
I was annoyed. At
he's
this point,
bragging
I was
John,
annoyed.
breathing
He's on the
fire.
clock. That's when he's on the clock.
I'm
You
human.
gotta-
I am a human being.
I am a human being.
I bet you were lit
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, so you pick up the story from this point. What first set you off?
So, okay, one,
Price
I
check.
wanted you to come help me because it was dark and I don't like to load my car in the dark, and it was very cold. So I asked him, could you just come over?
And I did.
Okay. That was my mindset.
30 minutes.
So what I would think, first of all, is we'd be planning our trips to Walmart during the day.
Right. It just all
That'd be like my first.
Exactly.
Actually, what we normally do is we normally do delivery.
We deliver.
That's probably a reason why
And
we
this is
do
probably
delivery
why,
now, right?
because I'm not going to ask you to do that again.
Right, okay.
Right. So,
Right.
So, okay.
Yes.
So I'm in the line.
Okay.
And it's just going on forever. And they're just the kid at the front. He's a very nice young man. Okay. But he keeps talking to his friend.
Yes.
So I call him Afro Man and behind him because he's got this big hair.
Yeah.
And they're just talking and messing around. Then this other girl who works there, they have these ladies that stand kind of at the front and they're watching.
Managers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what she is. She's a veteran employee though, I'll tell you that. So anyway, she's standing there and so she starts messing around and I'm watching this for like 15 minutes. Finally, the lady in front of me is up and I'm like next. I am like she's going to pay and then price check, another price check. We've already been through like 10,
Right.
12 price checks with the people before them. And so I'm just like, when they said price check and John's just like, where are you? I literally said, oh my gosh, and it came out of my mouth. And then I was just like embarrassed because I shouldn't act like that. So the lady looks
But you
at me,
get
she goes-
frustrated.
The lady looks at me, she goes, I am so sorry. I'm like, no, it's not your fault. I'm hangry. I'm just hungry and I'm hangry and I'm just, my husband's waiting outside with the kids. It's just, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. So I apologized to the lady. She was very nice about it. And anyway, so then we finally get her through, okay? After they couldn't find it because it was the last item on the shelf and they couldn't find it. Okay. So finally we get through. Now it's 20 minutes and I'm standing there and I'm up. I'm ready to go, and the guy slow puts one thing in each little bag. I'm taking the little bags, putting them in the big bag, and I'm just like, okay. And he keeps talking to his friend. Okay. He stops, turns and talks to his friend. And then the girl that was assisting was also talking to them. They're throwing stuff at each other. They're messing around. And so finally, I lost it. And I just said, you guys, let's focus. I said, I got to go.
Yeah.
I've been in this line for 20 minutes. I got to go. And this messing around has got to stop. And I said, this price check here and price check there. And then you guys are like throwing things at each other. I said, mess around on some other people's time, but right now
for
I
you.
gotta
Yeah,
go.
Way to go.
Boss mom at work right here. I mean, she owns a company, so she's used to employees and how they should respond, and then
Yeah.
mom mode went in effect too.
Oh, yeah.
If I'd been in there with my wife and she had done that, I would have instantly looked at her and said, "That is so hot."
Oh my gosh,
Yes, because my
John.
wife has done that before.
yeah.
And this has done situations
like,
because she gets frustrated like that,
I was
and I'm
frustrated,
like,
and I wasn't
hot.
rude. I was firm.
You're just aggressive, and you're
Yeah.
like taking control of it,
just
and then
like-
it's hot.
Yeah. So, did you hear that, John?
I'm just saying.
I'm like, oh my gosh, Kristi.
Yeah, John's
That's
like-
how I'd be. If I was in there, I'm like,
I'm
oh my gosh.
embarrassed.
She hasn't had her medication today. Just ignore her. She's out for the afternoon from the
Right?
home.
So-
I'm taking her back to
I'm
the
just
home. after
watching her
this.
for a friend.
Yeah, right. I don't know her. She said she needs some help. I just found her wandering around lost.
I was so mad. So anyway, this lady, the girl that was messing around with them both.
Yes.
I guess she's the aisle supervisor or whatever, checks the aisles. She just like looks at me, okay, and just like stares at me. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up to show you.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
So imagine you're in
visual.
your car right now and she's standing up.
She's like,
Okay.
this.
She's eyeing you.
She's the aggressive
like
lean
she's gonna
forward.
take me in
Aggressive
the
lean
back,
eyeing.
and she's
Yes.
going to beat me up.
Laser beam.
Okay?
She's gonna follow you out in the
She is
parking lot.
And she doesn't stop. And I've got like, I don't know,
Yeah.
quite a bit of groceries, and we're going, and she just will not stop. She just stares there, and I looked at her. I go, cut it out. I go, just cut it out. And so she's like, you're not going to talk to me like that.
No.
You're not going to talk to me like a child. I am not your child, and you can't talk to me like that. And I looked at her, and I said, okay. And then,
right.
and
Whatever.
then she just says, you don't have a right. And she just kept it up.
Oh, yeah.
And so finally I just looked at her and I go, what is your name? And she goes, Latoya. And then,
I was wondering where that was going to
her
come
name's
from.
Latoya. And I just said, oh, okay. Do you have a last name? I'm not going to say her last name because
Okay.
we're on here. So she tells me her last name. She goes, and she flips up her little tag and she goes, and I'm a veteran employee. And I said, that's great. I know the general manager here, and I will be letting him know, Latoya, how you're acting. And then she says, they're not going to do anything. And I said, okay, that's fine. And so she continued to stare.
What is Latoya's problem?
Exactly. So
No, it's a rough day too.
she just keeps saying stuff. Then
It's end of the day.
She takes her
Right.
phone, walks by me, very close, okay? Like in my space.
Uncomfortably
okay?
close, yes.
And so back and forth. So now I'm like, oh, great. She's texting her friends. They're going to meet out in the parking lot. They're
John's
going to
getting
kill me,
roundhoused right now.
So, so I'm standing there, and she continues to stand and just stare with her chest, like,
Oh, very aggressive.
her chest is out. Like she's done this.
She's
before.
posturing.
She is.
Yes.
You know how they have like cockfights. You know
That's
how
what
the
you call it?
cockfights like
Yes.
stick
Yes.
out their chest. That's how she was. I was like,
She was
man,
flexing.
Has she
Yeah.
been trained in
Yeah.
this? So I pay. I leave. The guy in front of me he's just quiet. He's like one of those, he's like,
oh,
okay,
God.
this
Focus, just get this
lady's,
groceries out of
this
here.
lady's
He goes,
mad,
he's thinking, this is hot.
Yeah, so I start to, and
That's what he's
the
thinking.
family behind me is just, they're kind of like watching. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad John's not in here because this would be, I saw John's wife,
I mean,
So-
Walmart.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
My people are at
Because
Walmart.
that does
Seriously.
happen.
They are.
They are, I know.
No, seriously, I'll go in any store or wherever. Walmart, I get the most interactions.
Oh, and people will say things on
no
Facebook. I
doubt.
saw John Oakey. I saw
No
their
doubt.
wife.
There
I
you
was
go.
behind them.
I had a
was
guy
just
one
like,
time like, you're the news guy. What are you doing here at Walmart shopping? I'm like, shopping.
Shopping at the mothership. Shopping.
Shopping like you are.
So basically, I went to leave with my cart. Latoya doesn't move out of the way.
Of course.
I have to go around her. She's standing her ground. She's
Okay.
that.
That's what you call
you know,
customer relations.
Rooster getting ready for the
Right.
cockfight.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, Latoya, we'll talk to you later, and I left. So yeah, I got on the
Yeah,
phone.
you were all. I could see where
And then
you
to meet
worked up.
me, aggressive
So
John
then
throwing
aggressive John is
groceries in the back of the car.
He's Latoya now.
She had enough.
So now I am Jatoya.
Jatoya.
That's
I'm now
where he's
Jatoya.
acting like
Thus, I became
Jatoya.
Jatoya.
Yeah.
So if you too are a Jatoya,
So that's the Jatoya story.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Didn't even
That's a
realize.
great- I'm glad we held that off to talk about that. That's a
Right?
great story.
Right?
Yeah.
People like those when that situations like that happen when
Yeah.
people are supposed to be moving through quick, whatever.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, and I've audibly said like when a woman or man, whoever, you say woman because I know this exact story happened to me. Is that this woman, huge cart, Hy-Vee, whole bunch of stuff, all the way talking super nice. And after it's all rung up, she's, I have coupons. And she goes, gets in her purse and starts getting, and then she gives her the coupons
Yeah.
and she goes, oh, okay, hold on. Goes in and gets her checkbook. And then I'm like, oh my God.
I know, you're just
and I said,
Yeah.
and then I go, oh gosh, like that.
Yeah.
And she heard, nobody said anything.
I know that you feel bad
Frustrating.
that you
I
did it, but
kind of.
kind of.
Not really.
A little
That was
bit.
so-
Remember,
but I was loud.
like,
I was
help
just
us.
like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, did that come out of your mouth? You know?
Koogler Vision is a proud supporter of our podcast, and we couldn't be more proud to be associated with such a great group of people.
Say, just put words in their mouth. Go
they
right
are,
ahead.
They are proud.
Just go right ahead. Put words in their mouth. We love having them as a supporter
We do.
too, and we talk about them not only when we're telling you some of the great things they can do for you, but they come up in conversation quite often just because they're good people and we trust them. When it comes to doing anything with your eyes, you want the best. You want somebody who is at the forefront of the latest technology, which they are. When it comes to any kind of procedure that they do as far as corrective procedures, there's 7 different kinds that they do. I think most people, when they say LASIK, they think it's just one thing.
Right.
And I get it, and whatever it is, when you go in and do your consultation, you'll find out which potential procedures are best for you or your best options.
And maybe you went in and you were told 10 years ago, like, well, you're not a candidate. I was, I had astigmatism.
You were told that,
and I
yeah.
was told that. And so then I went, technology changed, and this was even before they had 7 different procedures, and I was a candidate, and it was the best decision for my vision that I've ever made. And so you need to go back in, just kind of get a reboot and see if you are a candidate.
And even take our word for it, that'd be great. You can also take a look at over 600 positive patient reviews on their website at kooglervision.com. And their website is a great resource, easy to navigate, a lot of information. You can learn a ton right there. And that's where you can also schedule your consultation.
You do, and when you do, just let them know that you heard it on the Pat and JT podcast.
Please do.
You schedule that consultation, get in. They'll get you a full workup, let you know what you're a candidate for.
Yeah.
And they'll take care of you.
What your problem areas are,
Yep.
what they can help you with, the whole 9 yards. It's really very informative, and if for no other reason than just to get a real good, clear picture,
There you
so
go.
you can see what you could see in 2020.
That's
'cause
enough of the puns.
It is 2020.
Oh my God. KooglerVision.com. Get that consultation. And again, let them know that you heard it on the Pat and JT podcast.
But I told you the other day when I was going through the line, and there was a huge line behind me, and the woman that was checking me out, and I had quite a bit of stuff, she wouldn't quit talking to me.
Yeah, it's like, concentrate, do your job.
She was commenting on everything I bought.
That
And it was like,
These are tampons.
It was like,
a month? Oh, wow.
brand-
This
like,
is
literally.
very absorbent.
Literally, she made mention of the toilet paper because she said, are the in-laws coming? And I'm
Like, what?
like, what does that mean? Is that really good or is that really
you got
bad?
the good stuff, I
right?
guess.
I don't know what it is. And she was commenting about, I tried this one, so you get a chance, you should put it in this recipe and this. And she'd stop.
you're just like-
and she'd lean over and talk to me. And these people behind me are just like drilling holes in my head with their
Yeah.
eyes
Yeah.
because I'm like, I don't know her.
Right.
I
You gotta be
swear.
aware of your surroundings. So if it's a situation where, like, if it's just like there's no one behind you, right? It's just the two of you.
Yes.
Talk it up. Right?
Right,
Talk it
whatever.
up.
That's all fine.
How's your holiday? Blah, blah. But if you can tell there's people, let's just get business going. Let's just
Right.
zip through this.
Right
do
on.
the next person, right?
Oh yeah,
Right
John
on.
would rather
Agreed.
be rude to his family than to hold up a stranger in a line.
There's some truth to that. There's some truth to
That,
that.
there's a story there. There's another Jatoya story.
Yeah.
There is some truth to
Oh,
that.
all the time. All the time.
I get it.
It's an
I
argument
do.
for the self-check. It's an art. Seriously,
Well, it
the
is.
self-check is the
I
absolute
go
greatest
there
thing.
As much as I can, I'll go there.
The
Yeah.
self-check, though, that's you're putting
Yeah, because
somebody
there
out of a
was
job.
literally there was 2 lines
Oh my gosh.
open.
Oh my God.
Well, I went, the one day, I remember the long time ago, I went through the express lane. The express lane was open, and I had more than enough items. I'm looking, and the girl that's checking out, she waved me in. She said, just don't worry about it. She says, just come on, let's just go ahead. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm unloading my extraordinary amount of items that are not 12 or less.
Yeah.
And a woman literally took time out of her day to come over to me after she checked out of the lane behind me to say, there's a reason why it's 12 or less,
I mean, who has that little
I
going
know.
on in their life to focus on that?
Yeah.
Like,
There are people.
That's one of those things you just kind of think in your head, but you don't. For me, but you don't say out loud.
you don't.
You just kind of.
Excuse me.
person.
I counted 13. Get out of the line.
Because the only 2 people in the world that know that you had a pass or whatever
Yeah.
is you and that lady.
Right.
Yeah.
The checker asked
You were
me to come on
invited
through.
in. You were invited
Nobody
in.
else was in
You
the
just
line.
said, I was invited in.
Yeah,
That's it.
you should have.
I just looked at her. I looked back at the checker and I just started laughing. I was like, oh God, what the hell?
I love it.
Somebody's having a bad day. But that's okay. I get it sometimes. And that's probably one of the best places for a lot of people because it's anonymous and they get to
Yeah.
bark at somebody and then they can turn on their heels and out the sliding doors.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
See you later.
And from now on, you will never go into that express lane without 12 or less because you've been told.
Nope.
Yes. Yes. I would. Yeah. Too much pressure.
Too much
Way
pressure.
too much pressure.
Too much pressure. But yeah, now there's a couple places I go where the self-check, they have people who are like monitoring the
monitor it,
self-check
yeah.
and they'll stand right over you and like do everything for you. It's like, this is the whole purpose that I'm
Yeah,
doing
right.
this is because I want to do this myself.
Right.
But if you're going to do it for
They've had
me,
so many thefts.
probably
and stuff from that.
they just monitor
You
it.
look guilty.
See, if I'm going
You
to
match a lot of the descriptions of people who've been doing this. They're like, keep it close. Oh, hey, we got this lady coming up, long
Right
hair,
there.
brown hair. Watch
Right.
her. Yep.
Which
what?
is funny.
She's
They don't
wearing
ever
a
do that
vest.
for anybody else. It's just your experience. I wonder, maybe it's a you problem,
What?
not a store problem.
They were doing it for other people too. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, John's always like, be on your best behavior.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Well,
Okay, so are there any other public incidences like that where maybe you were around and it was like, man, there's John Oakey and his wife's going crazy? Or
well,
what?
when I was pregnant, with,
Wife is going crazy.
when I was pregnant, do you remember this, Joe?
Yeah, I do know
Okay.
this one. She made me a shirt for this one.
I did.
I love how things happen and you just want to make shirts.
sure.
I know.
It's the best.
I know.
So
We're in College Station.
We were in College Station,
Working there. I was
Texas.
in
Yeah,
sports.
I was big and pregnant, or
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah.
And I saw this pecan bread, like with butter and little things on top, and I was like, "Oh, that looks good." You know, we were broke. We didn't have very much money, and so we were on our list of getting things.
A little budget, a grocery budget.
And I think something had just happened to one of our friends at that channel where they had somebody had seen them arguing or something in the store.
Yeah.
And so we were at the
It's like our
grocery
main
store.
acres.
Yeah, and so I wanted this pecan bread, you know, and John's like, "No, can't get it. It's like $4.99." And I'm like, "I want this. Baby wants this." And he's like, and then he's just like,
Baby
"Nope,
wants
we got to stick to the plan. We got to stick to the budget." So we're like driving the little cart, you know. We're like going to the next aisle, and I'm like, "I really want this." And he goes straight to the Coke products where he gets like 3 12 packs. And I looked at, and I don't drink pop, and so really very rarely.
Actually, I think it's more 2 liters, but I digress.
Okay, so he starts piling them in the cart, and I looked at him. I go, "How come you can have?" It was Diet Cherry Coke. I remember that. And how come you can have that,
Still
but I
crap
can't have
mind over
my bread? And he goes, "Well, because I need this." And I go, "No, I need the little bread."
That back when I don't drink pop anymore, but that was part of our daily. That was part of our budget. That was part of our daily groceries.
Pop. It was
That
already
the
worked
pop.
into the
It was
equation.
already worked into the equation.
It's baked
So we're
into the
having-
cake.
Baked in the
the
cake.
special
We're
bread
having
was
a-
not part of the normal process.
It doesn't. If your stuff
Right?
is already accounted for, then the bread.
that's part of our.
That's next trip.
That's always on the list.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the man's view.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but the
Next
woman's
trip.
view was I was hungry and I wanted that, and he was going to eat some of it. He was probably going to eat probably 3/4 of it.
There's probably some truth to that.
Probably.
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
So
probably.
I was like, it was just a little bread, you know. So I just said, "I want the bread," and he's like, "I go, you get the Diet Coke, I get the bread," and so we're
Anyway, she gets loud. By the
I'm
way,
like,
she
"This
gets
is
loud when she starts
ridiculous.
arguing.
You get all this pop, and I can't have the bread." And then I go, "Look at me, I'm pregnant. I should have the bread." And then people are looking. John's like, "Cut it out." And I go, "I don't care." And he goes, "You know, people know who I am."
Yes,
I'm like,
yes, I love it.
and I'm like,
I'm like a year into my career, by the way. I'm like a year into small town TV.
You're-
people
yeah.
used to stop you to sign their shoes. I mean,
know.
okay.
It's-
So
Yeah, you,
Anyway, it's small
You
town.
are-
It's a
big
I was
town.
a celebrity.
It's
And
a
you
big
are.
deal
I mean,
in
it is,
small
but still,
town.
it's
It
stupid.
is.
It's still pretty stupid.
he's like,
Yes.
people know. People will talk about this. Now cut it out. And I'm like,
and then what I say?
I want the bread. And he goes, I'm not your average Joe. And I go, holy crap. I was like, what?
not.
I go, Joe? Like John Oakey? And I go, Joe? And I'm like, you know, I've known him since we were 16. Okay.
Right.
To see him like on TV is like, well, that's kind of weird, you know? So I was just like, oh, you are never living this down, Joe. You know,
and so I have that next
So I
Christmas,
have a t-shirt.
I got a T-shirt that a little guy like holding a microphone that
Microphone.
says, "I am not your average Joe."
That is hilarious. I am
and I got the bread, by the way.
Did you
for
get the
you.
bread?
Of course, it was easier.
Good for
Oh, I
you.
asked people, I'm like, I stopped people in the aisle. I'm like, do you think I should get this bread? He will not let me have this bread. John's just like, cut it out.
That's not even fair.
Cut it
Because
out.
what are they? They're always going to
They're
side
like,
with
of
that.
course
Always
they
going to
are.
side with
Bread,
pregnant.
So
baby.
how
Nobody
long
sides
till
with
you
the
got
guy.
fired
Yeah, right.
about the incident in the bread
Oh
aisle?
my gosh.
Nobody ever sides with the guy in that instance. Ever.
Nope,
Nobody
never.
ever says, you know
Never
what?
seen
You know
my
what?
side.
Because you could have said, it was a budget. We set this down. We're this. Then they would have said, oh, maybe. But they never side with the guy.
Yeah. No,
We're screwed.
nope.
Absolutely.
You love the bread, by the way.
I'm
You
sure I
ate
did.
the whole thing?
And did you
I'd
eat
eat
your
the whole
soda?
thing.
And you got your soda?
Of course I had. Yeah, it's part
I
of the
think
budget.
Because you're a big deal.
That's part of the list.
Not your average Joe.
That's right. It's not your
And
average
that's the
Joe.
name of this podcast.
Not your average Joe.
They're going to see this and say, "What happened to Jatoya?"
Oh man, I forgot about the toy
Now
already.
it's Jatoya.
2020 year Jatoya.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for
Oh my God,
for
thank
sticking around
you.
so long.
Yeah,
You're
thanks for putting up
welcome.
with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got it. Okay,
I'm
so-
looking forward to yours coming out.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys can be a guest on ours.
So
Would love that. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and then when we're getting ready, we'll have you guys back and we'll talk about it and what should
Something
be
else
next couple
too
weeks.
that's coming up in about 3 weeks is the 1 year anniversary of this of our
Oh,
podcast.
wow.
That's right.
Congratulations.
What episode are we on right now?
This is what is it? We're on 342.
342.
Ooh, almost there.
And
Congratulations.
so on the 15th of February, we're trying to put something. It's on a Saturday. So you're invited.
Yay!
Not sure where everything's gonna. I think we know where it's gonna happen.
You're invited to somewhere we don't know yet. Where.
Okay, wonderful. Can't wait to be there.
Yeah.
We're
Wherever
working
that
on
might
the
be.
details.
Yep.
We're gonna do a live podcast recording
Oh,
at this
fun.
event.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So we
Yeah.
want to invite our other
Yeah, your
podcasters.
podcasters.
And do we have to
come
pay
down.
a talent fee to have you there?
Obviously,
Because you're not your
yes.
average
He's
Joe.
not an average
Obviously,
Joe.
I'm
Okay.
kind of a big deal.
You're kind of not your
There
average
you
Joe.
go. Not
Yeah,
your
not your
average
average
Joe.
Joe.
There we
Yeah.
go.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
We appreciate
guys.
it. You got it. Email us, hey@patandjt.com. You can do that. Subscribe, rate, review our podcast at 402-403-9478.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.